So tell us a little bit about, I think everybody in Boston probably knows, well, almost everybody in Boston knows who Boston Duck Tours is. Why don't you tell us a little bit about its history, how it came to be, and maybe a little bit about where it's going to go and all that kind of stuff.
That sounds perfect. Boston Duck Tours has been around for an amazing 19 years, which seems like forever sometimes and seems like yesterday other times. So depending upon a good or a bad day, you can sense the longevity. But we started 19 years ago, and it's a really interesting story. The gentleman that founded the company, Andy Wilson, was taking a road trip across the country and stumbled upon the ducks in Memphis, Tennessee, and thought, oh, that's cool, nothing much more than that. And then he came back to Boston and looked around. He lived on a boat at Waterboat Marina down on the waterfront, looked at the trolleys, looked at the people, knew about the water, and it hit him that Boston would be a great place for a duck tour. So he spent the next 2 years trying to open the business and traveling to Branson, Missouri and the Wisconsin Dells and studying and learning and finding out if it would in fact be successful in Boston.
So maybe that's one of the stories of entrepreneurship, is you really have to, no pun intended, put your ducks in order.
You really do. It took a lot of work. It seems simple, throw a couple ducks on the river and teach some history, but it was such a new concept in Boston, so the regulators had a really hard time understanding the vehicles and the intricacies and really what we wanted to do. So 2 years later, we opened our doors in September of 1994 and really have never looked back.
I mean, it's a great story, and I take people there all the time. I have clients from out of town, and everyone universally loves it. So I'd be shocked if anybody out there doesn't know what the Boston Duck Tours are. Last night I was having drinks on the waterfront, on the river actually, and I'm watching all these ducks go back and forth.
It's summertime, so it's hard to miss seeing a duck anytime in the summer throughout Boston on the water.
It's great. How did you come to Boston Duck Tours?
Well, I actually started my career in finance. I went to Franklin and Marshall College, and I had a degree in economics, and of course thought I was going to rule the banking world. And I quickly found out it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. So when my former boss, Andy Wilson, approached me about being the marketing director, I first said no because I didn't quite understand what I was getting myself into. But after an hour lunch and video and really sensing his enthusiasm, I said, what have I got to lose? I was 24. I wasn't really going anywhere too fast. And, if it didn't work out, I could go back to banking, and started as the marketing director and became general manager in '97, and then took over for him when he decided to sell the company as CEO. And my partners and I bought him out, and we've been running it, ourselves since 2000.
I mean, that's kind of a great story. So you have a bunch of partners?
It's a limited partnership.